Another edition of the Asian Investor live stream. We do these live streams every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Every Tuesday at 11 o'clock, we teach and train on a different agent investor topic. We listen to your feedback for what you need help with. We talk to you, we ask you questions, and we try to provide content that fits the needs of the group. If you ever feel like you have a topic that you want to make sure that we cover, a topic that you may not have heard before, or that you want to make sure that I talk about, please go into the Agent Investor Facebook group at www.agentinvestor.com and just let us know what topic you want us to cover on the Tuesday at 11 a.m. live streams. So I did put this note out in the Agent Investor Facebook group about what the topic would be for today. It's a little bit different of a topic, but I want to give everybody who's either registered for the event or thinking about registering for the event an opportunity to learn more about what our events are like, and more specifically, what this event will be like. It's crazy, and I feel really, really fortunate that so many people have registered this event without getting an agenda or an outline on what we're going to be talking about, outside of the fact that I've told you it's going to focus on systems, and then I told you it's going to be a really great event. So I want to thank everybody who is registered, for the most part, just on my word that it's going to be a really good event, and it definitely will be. But I do want to talk and let you guys know about what to expect at the event, when to show up, what topics there'll be, who the speakers will be, just all that good stuff, so that you kind of know before time whether or not this is something you should attend, or if you're gonna attend it, what you should be doing to prepare. So the one kind of piece of advice that if you haven't done this already, that I like all of you to do in order to prepare for this event, is to think about what you want real estate investing to do for you. And I know that some of you have already done this. So if you've already done this, great, you're ahead of the curve. But if you haven't, all of you that follow me, all of you that are in my Facebook group or follow me on my personal page or LinkedIn or are on my email list, you all opted in to learning about real estate investing because of what you believe that real estate investing could do for you, which is ultimately change your life in some way. But what we need to know, and what I'm asking you to do for homework, is to really think through what exactly that looks like. How do you want your life to change in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years because of real estate investing? And I want you all to kind of just paint a picture in your head. How much money do you need on a monthly basis in order to do this? How many hours are you working? What sort of investment vehicle are you employing? Are you flipping or wholesaling or assigning? Or are you passively investing in other people's deals? What exactly are you doing? Are you buying small multifamilies? But more than that, just think about like what you want real estate investing to do for you and what you want out of this 2-day event. Because one thing that I am going to give everybody an opportunity to do while at the event is to ask questions. Now, you don't need to prepare questions ahead of time. You don't have to worry too much about asking questions if you don't want to. But it is going to be an interactive event to some extent, where I'm going to be giving people the opportunity to ask questions. And I will say this just in preparation for this event: be selfish. Be selfish. And when I'm going through a concept, when I'm teaching a training, when you're there kind of lost or you want to know how this applies to you, get your question ready, write it down, and ask it. Okay. So I want you guys again to think before the event about what you want real estate investing to do for you, some questions that you might have, what you want to get out of the event. And I promise you, by the end of the 2 days, I'm going to be sitting there towards the end going, hey, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until everybody has gotten what they need. And that's the biggest thing for me about running an event, is making sure that people got what they thought they were going to get. Okay. So let's talk about what we have planned to deliver on. Obviously, we've taken some time to go through the different topics, the different subjects. And I put together a 2-day event that I think is going to be a game changer for pretty much everybody in attendance. And before I even go into the agenda, I just want to say that specifically because this is a systems event, this is for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you've done 0 investment deals, 10 investment deals, or 200 investment deals. Building and operating the right systems in your business is not a beginner topic. It's not an advanced topic. It's a topic for everybody. So when we talk about like where we want to go 5 or 10 years through investing in our life, we often talk about the money that we might need to make on a weekly basis. And we might say, hey, I want 10 to 15 or $20,000 worth of passive income. In order to get that 10 or $20,000 of passive income, we may need to have a scorecard that we look at on a weekly basis that tells us how many deals do we need to look at? How much money do we need to raise? Who do we need to partner with? But ultimately, at the end of the day, whether we hit those scorecard numbers is going to depend on whether we have systems in our business for us and potentially other people in our business to follow. Okay, so at the event, again, we're focused on systems. We're going to teach you not only how to build systems, we're going to teach you not only what systems you need, but we're also going to delve into the systems within our company. So going day by day, Wednesday is day number 1. Of course, it's at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Woburn. We are asking people to show up at 8:30 if and when possible. Now, I understand that not all of you can get there exactly at 8:30. It might not be doable for some of you, but for those of you who can get there at 8:30, we're going to be doing check-in at 8:30. The reason why you want to be there at 8:30 are twofold. Number one, the people that get there early are going to get the best seats. This is going to be probably a 200 to 300 person event, right? So there's going to be a lot of people there. It is my recommendation that you get somewhere near the front row, okay? Not that you won't be able to see in the back, not that you won't be able to hear in the back, but by getting there early, getting there at 8:30 and checking in, you can get whatever seat you want rather than the seat that you're kind of left with, okay? And the second reason why we're asking you to be there at 8:30 is because we're going to start promptly at 9. I've had a habit, in some of my events to kind of almost play to the crowd and say, all right, well, not everybody's here yet, so let's start at 9:15 or 9:20 or 9:30. And I've decided to change that for this event. I actually have 3 people that are going to be flying in that are going to help MC the event for me. And one of their main jobs is to keep things running on time. Okay. So again, I'm telling you all this, not that, you can't come late. You can come whenever you want. You can come for as many days as you want, for as many sessions as you want. You're going to get the most by coming on time for both days. But I understand that things happen. And I want to give everybody permission to just do their best. Get there for as many of the sessions as you can. Get there at the time that you can get there. Okay. So 9 o'clock, we're going to go live. 9 o'clock on day 1 on Thursday, we're going to go live. The first thing we're going to cover is why systems, why we need them in our business, and how to build them. Okay. This is the most important topic probably for any business owner. Most business owners do not have systems in their business, especially if you're, an agent like myself, starting out. You don't have a lot of systems built. You're kind of doing everything within your business. We're going to show you why you need systems, but we're also going to tell you how to build them, right? Because I'm going to share with you my systems over the course of the 2 days, but you need to be able to build these things on your own. And we're going to be teaching you how to actually build these on your own and a high level overview of what systems that you need in your agent investor business. And those 3 main systems, like if I were to break out 3 things that every agent investor needs within their business, is really good, number 1, deal finding systems. Number 2, really good funding systems. And number 3, really good management systems. And management can be virtual assistants, it can be teammates, it can be construction, right? It can be property management, right? And then, of course, funding can be raising money, or it could be finding good lenders or connecting with good lenders or having a good strategy to pay the least amount in interest cost, etc. So throughout the course of the 2 days, those 3 systems are going to be the bulk of what we talk about. Okay, so session number 1 from maybe 9 to 10:15, somewhere in that kind of vicinity is why systems and how to build them. After every single segment, we're going to give you guys a 10 or a 15-minute break. Again, we know that you guys need to make phone calls, need to, use the bathroom, do all that good stuff. There's going to be coffee out throughout the whole event, coffee and water throughout the whole event. Coffee and water will be out at 8:30. So again, if you get there early, another reason to get there a couple minutes early so you can be able to sit down, whatever. I'd recommend, if you can, bringing a notebook so that you can jot questions down, right? Again, I want all of you to come prepare for this event, knowing what you want real estate investing to do for you. But I also want you to be prepared and ready to ask questions if you've got questions. Okay. All right. So next segment, which will probably be 10:30 to maybe about lunchtime, somewhere in there, which is going to be deal finding systems. Okay. So finding deals is probably the number one skill that you can have as an agent investor. Finding deals is something you should be doing as an agent, right? So when we talk about finding deals, we're mainly talking about finding off-market deals. How do you find off-market deals? You're meeting with sellers face-to-face, right? And this is the beauty of agent investor, right? And I didn't necessarily create this model, but I definitely promote it, which is agents should be getting as many face-to-face seller appointments as they can. And then when they go on those face-to-face seller appointments, agents have the option to work with the sellers to either list a house, to buy the house as a flip, to assign the house, or to buy it as a buy and hold. Okay. So it doesn't really matter what your investing objectives are. You need systems that produce seller appointments each and every week, right? This is something that every single agent can benefit from. If you're an agent that's very buyer focused, there's nothing wrong with that. But working with sellers is going to get you more time back. It's going to get you more leverage. It's going to be able to help you invest more. So we're going to teach what systems you need in your business in order to guarantee that you get a certain amount of face-to-face seller appointments each and every week. Now, most of you know my team goes out on about 100 face-to-face seller appointments a week. We're going to be sharing with you the systems within our business in order to get those appointments, but most importantly, how you can use those systems in your business in order to get seller appointments too. Okay. So then it's going to be 12 o'clock. We're going to have lunch. It'll be probably like 12 to 12:45, maybe 12 to 1, somewhere in that range. The food's on us. Food's completely free. It will be out. It'll probably be something like sandwiches or like buffet style food that is good, tastes good, healthy, and you guys can just get up, get a plate, bring it back to your seat, and you've got kind of like that hour to kind of do whatever you need to do. It's a great time if you have time and you need to ask like individual questions to talk to people on my team. Like I said, I'm going to have probably 7 or 8 people there on my team, fully staffed, to answer any questions. You guys will know that it's somebody that's on my team because you'll see one of these shirts, right? Oh, and I should mention, for everybody that's in the inner circle, when you walk in, you're going to get one of these shirts if you want it. All right. So, but the people that are going to be wearing the shirts are going to be staff members. Different people within our company do different things, but there is nobody that's going to have one of these shirts on that you can't go to with a question at any point. I should also mention that, when you guys check in, you're all going to get lanyards with your name, just so that when you network and meet other people, that you have the ability to talk to other people. Keep in mind, like, you guys mainly know me. I'm fortunate enough that you all that have registered think highly enough of me that you're willing to register just to hear me talk, right? But keep in mind that the power is not just with me. It's within all of the other people that you don't know that are there. And it's not just the other agent investors that are going to be there. They're going to be people who have done a lot there, right? But it's also going to be my partners and the staff of our team, right? And you're going to meet them, But keep in mind that I focus on only one area of my business. So just keep in mind that getting to know some of the other people and asking them questions is a great way and a great reason to come face to face. It's another reason why like I don't have these virtual, because I want you guys to have the ability when you're on a lunch break to walk up to me, to walk up to another one of my team members, to walk up to another agent investor and network. Don't underestimate the power of networking. Make sure that you are making connections there. And again, look for these shirts. These are the people that can help you. Okay. So we're going to get back from lunch. And maybe that will be 1 o'clock, something like that. And the next thing that we're going to cover is the systems within our company from like start to finish. And this segment is probably going to be the longest segment that we do. And I'm going to bring up all of the key players in my team. And I'm going to go through everything from the way that we generate seller appointments to how we call sellers, to the people that go out on the appointments and what they do, to how you negotiate with the sellers, to how we, what contracts we use, to how we do a scope of work and determine what the budget of the house should be, to how we then put together the funding for the deals, to then how we put them into our system. We use a system called Smart Sheets, and we're going to show you the step-by-step process in order to do that, to how we get that to the finish line, to how we then renovate it. And we're going to have people from our construction team there talking about how we renovate houses and the checkpoints that we have. Keep in mind that like we're going to be giving you guys the step-by-step. So you don't necessarily need to take a whole ton of notes. Like that you can come and we're going to give you guys the step-by-step blueprint on how to do this stuff. And that'll be probably like a 2-hour segment. And then towards the end of that day, so we'll give you guys, whatever it is, another 20-minute break. And then from maybe like 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I'm going to do kind of like an open Q&A. I'm going to do an open Q&A on the stuff that we've covered. And I anticipate there's probably going to be a ton of questions. So again, if you kind of think back to the reason I'm doing this and what I want to leave this event with is I want everybody on the Thursday afternoon to be like, holy bleep, like that was a free event. I can't believe that was a free event. And I can't believe that everything that I came here for, I got. So I'm specifically making at this event the opportunity for people to ask questions so that when it's Thursday at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whenever we break, you've got nobody to blame but yourself if you didn't get what you needed, because there's going to be plenty of opportunity for people to ask questions and network and all that good stuff. So we'll end Wednesday, whatever it is, 4:35. I'm not going to stop that day until everybody gets what they need, but I will give people permission to take off. Again, you guys have permission to take off whenever you want. I do think, strategically, if you blocked off these 2 days, make it through the full 2 days. This is going to be a crash course in becoming an agent investor. And for people who are already agent investors, it's going to be a crash course on how to leverage and scale your business through systems. So that's day one. Day two, we're going to do check-in again at 8:30. Day two check-in is a little bit less important. Like if you can get there 8:30, 8:40, we're good to go on day number two. We are going to start promptly at 9 o'clock again on day two. And the first thing that we're going to cover is we're going to do an agent panel. Okay. So one thing that I've learned the hard way is that when I talk about the stuff that my company has done, the stuff that I focus on and what I'm doing, a lot of people look and say, well, that's too far out of reach for me. And that's like a 15-year process. And I'm in the first year or 2 years or day one of being an agent investor. So what I've learned is that I need to have other people that are there that have taken these strategies, taken these methods, implemented these methods, and can talk to other people who were in those people's seats a year or two ago. So we're going to have agent investors up there that are like 1 year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, that are getting a ton of great results. The type of results that you can expect if you're brand new to this, in a year or in 2 years. And we're talking about how they did it, right? And although everything that we talk about, that we practice and we preach, it is methodical, it is systematic, there's a differentness to everybody's story. And you'll see from the people that are going to be up there that everybody's story is a little bit different. The way everyone did it is a little bit different. So what you want to look for, number one, when you hear those people and you hear that panel, is you want to look for people whose story you can relate to. Maybe my story doesn't resonate with you at all. Maybe you don't want to be me. Maybe you don't want what I have. Maybe you want something different. And there's somebody up there on stage on day number 2 in the morning session that you want to be like. And you want to listen to those people, but then you also want to connect with those people. Okay. So it's one thing, to connect with me. It's another thing to connect with other people. Again, use this, whole event as an opportunity to network and connect. So that'll be panel number 1. Then we're going to give you another 15-minute break. Then 10:30 is going to come up. Remember, I told you guys 3 main agent investor systems at a high level: finding great deals, funding great deals, and management. Okay. Management of people, of construction, of processes, of tenants, etc. So session number 2 of day number 2 is going to be about capital raising systems. And I'm going to actually give you guys a run through of a presentation that I give to everybody that's thinking about investing in one of our deals. And you're going to be able to see exactly how I phrase things, exactly how I do things. You're going to be able to see the pieces of the presentation that I think are important and the pieces of the presentation that you should be emulating. So keep in mind that funding your deals, there are a lot of different ways to fund deals. And how you do it is very important. What lenders you use, how you go out and ask for money, how you go out and partner with people, how you go out and structure things. Like it's a make or break type of thing. And this topic specifically, this system specifically, is the one I hear for the reason why people can't do deals. Like, I can't do deals because they don't have money. Well, great. Let me show you the systems that we have in place in order to get money. I know most of you know this, but I grew up poor. I had no money to start, 0. So, when people tell me they had no money to start, so they can't do this, it's basically like you telling me that my life is a lie, because I lived it, right? I lived not having any money in my bank account, and I lived these methods, these systems, and I built these systems and copied other people's systems and added to them and took away stuff I didn't like so that I could fund my own deals, to work with the best lenders, to work with private money people. So we're going to show you how to do that in the second segment. Then that's going to get us to about 12 o'clock. From 12 to 2, we're going to do the bus tour. And this is going to be a construction-focused bus tour. So we're going to take you guys to an apartment deal that we're currently working on, led by my construction team. And they're going to walk you through the nuts and bolts on how to get a deal like that from start to finish on the construction side. Remember, I talked about the fact that there are 3 components that you need to get good at. You need to get good at finding deals, funding deals, and management. So at the actual property, we're going to talk about the management of actually getting a deal like that done. Then you guys are going to get back, and then I'm going to walk you guys through for the next hour. Call this like 2 to 3:30, somewhere in that range, all of the systems that you need in an agent investor business. Now, fair warning, there's going to be a lot, right? There's going to be a lot of different systems that I'm going to have up on the board. I'm going to talk through why they're needed, but I'm also going to explain and hopefully, achieve getting you all to understand that you can only focus on a couple of these at a time. So when we talk about like systems that you need in your business, I'm going to give you 15 years worth of systems that are in our business, but then I'm going to help talk through which ones you all should be thinking about, which ones you might want to focus on next, and how you prioritize what you're building. I talk about this analogy all the time, like as I'm sitting in my office, building a business, building an agent investor business, building wealth. It's all about building it brick by brick. And you have to go one brick at a time. And when you're in the beginning phases of putting these bricks down or building these systems, in your head, it's going to look really bad. Like you're laying the foundation and you're going to look left and you're going to look right. And there's going to be somebody up on stage that already has a house. There's going to be another person on stage that has a really nice house. And then you're going to look at my house and say, this can't happen. But it's all about building brick by brick by brick. And we're going to talk about that and all the systems that you guys kind of need in your business. Okay. And then that's going to get us to maybe 3:30, 3:45. And I'm wrapping the day with you guys just Q&A. And so I am going to give you all the ability to ask as many questions as you want until this thing is over. And it's only going to be over when there are no more questions asked. So when I've done these type of sessions in the past, these Q&As, like I said, the best thing that you all can do to prepare is figure out where you want investing to take you. And then as the day is going on, jot down your questions. Jot down your questions and then wait for the questions, the question and answer component to be available, and be selfish. Leave at the end of that second day feeling like you squeezed everything out of this 2-day event. Okay. So that'll probably take us until, 4:30, 4:45, but it could take us longer. Now, again, as the second day kind of wraps up, I'm definitely going to give you all permission to leave whenever you want. If, you want to leave at 4 because the Q&A is going long, leave. But I also, on the other end of the spectrum, I want to give every one of you permission to keep asking questions until you have what you need. So I'll stay till 5, I'll stay till 6, I'll stay till 7. I'll stay till whenever we're done on that second day. And then the day will wrap. So to kind of just back this up a second, and by the way, if anybody has any questions on any of this stuff, type into the chat section. I don't see anything coming through, but I also didn't give any of you a lot of time to really ask any questions. So feel free to ask any questions now if you do have any questions. But I do just want to say this really quickly as we get to the end of this segment, which is don't sleep on the fact that these events are free. Don't sleep on the fact that they only come around once every few months. In fact, we'll probably only do one more of these in the year. And I don't even know when it will be. There is no other company that teaches on agent investing. It doesn't exist, especially if you're in our backyard. Do not sleep on this. I've heard some people say to me, well, it's an hour drive. I don't know if I can make it. Guys, guess what? I've flown all across the country to go to seminars like this and spent thousands of dollars, paid thousands of dollars for tickets and flight and hotel, especially if you're in New England. I don't care if you have a 2-hour drive, a 3-hour drive. If you want to become financially free through real estate investing, you need to make the commitment. Okay. Sales will make you a living. Yes, you can earn $100,000 or $200,000 as an agent, but it's not going to make you wealthy, right? It's not until you actually start learning how to invest in real estate, how to own assets, how to leverage assets, that your net worth is going to be where it needs to be. And it needs to be, north of $2 to $3 million. That's where it needs to be for everybody to have an impact on your life, right? So that's what we teach and that's what we preach. And again, if you're in our backyard, don't tell me that, it's a 45-minute drive, so you can't make it. If it's important to you, you will make it. And again, we only have, a couple of these every single year, and the event is free, right? I'm dropping $100K on this event, but for you guys, it's free. So don't sleep on it. Rearrange your schedule, do what you need to do to get there. And make a commitment to learning. The first step to becoming an investor and having high degree of success as an investor is, to learn. So the saying is, the more you learn, the more you earn. And guys, if you have any questions along the way, please let me know. There's probably literally 1 or 2 tickets left for the event. If you haven't registered, go to www.agentinvestorevent.com. I would say most likely if you don't register today, you probably, will not be able to attend because we only have so many seats and we can't manufacture more seats. So somebody said if someone attended the one in November, how is this upcoming one different? So this one is all about systems. So I did go over a lot of that kind of at the beginning of the conversation, but it's the step-by-step process of how all of this stuff gets done. So we're literally going to be giving you guys like the blueprint, like this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3. So rather than it just kind of being like me up there talking, you guys are going to get actually like a systems-based thing. And maybe I'll just like share with you something as an example of something that I'll be going over, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Let me just share my screen. So let me just see if this is actually sharing the right way. All right, cool. So I know this isn't perfect, but this is when we go and we evaluate properties and we determine what we're going to offer. We follow a formula and a methodology. And this here is the real estate analyst training manual that I created for an employee that works at the company that runs all of our CMAs. This is a 100-page report, and it tells exactly, literally, step by step, how we come up with offers on all of our properties. Now, I'm not going to tell you that like this is something that everybody needs. Everybody might not need this. This is an example of one of our systems that we'll be talking about and having all of you get the ability to get access to. So it's a lot different than what we did before, which is just kind of go up there and talk. Like you guys are going to be getting some tangible items. Let me see if I can find something else. So here's another example of something that you'll have the ability to get, the scope of work, how we do this, property repair budget, contract request form, final market ready walkthrough. And I could just keep kind of going. This is all like the construction documents that we use and all of the construction systems that we follow. So we're going to be teaching on how we use these, but you guys are also going to have the ability to get this. So I hope that answered the question. I could definitely go into kind of more detail on it, but I'll say this, like no two events that I ever do are going to be exactly the same. It's not fun for me to do the same event over and over again. And I like to make sure that if we get people that are repeat, that they get more, they continue to get something out of it. With that being said, I want to make one last point before I jump off. A lot of where people miss the mark with this stuff is thinking that they need to learn a lot of new things. It's not about necessarily going wider with your knowledge. It's about going deeper with your knowledge. So what you don't want to do, and I see this happen all the time, is people will like jump around to so many different concepts and never master or implement any of them. You're better off going to the same exact conference over and over again until you implement what's in that information than like having like a wide variety of different things that you know about. So just keep that in mind. But I hope to see each and every one of you at the event. Again, please, 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 I beg of you, there's like, again, 1 or 2 more tickets left. If you are more than 75% sure you're going to be there, please register today just so that you have a seat. Worst case scenario, if you register and can't come, just let me know. But please register, as soon as you can. All right, guys.